Hello, this is Rapid Regeneration. I'm David Escamilla. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not making medical claims or claims about diseases. I am a regenerative detoxification specialist. I'm somebody who knows a lot about how to physically clean out the body and heal it, because that's what I did for myself after I was just in total despair and misery for 4 years and suffering very bad physically, and healed myself totally. I've now made it my mission to help you. At least I'm going to try. I have to give it a shot. And so that's the deal that I've made, is to help you. I'm fulfilling my end of that. I'm asking you to do your part to now let me help you and now help yourself. And I'm not a spiritual guru, but it's important that I address the spirituality aspect of healing and getting yourself healthy and vibrant and energetic. Because to the degree that you can embrace the spiritual part of this is to the degree that you're going to totally surprise yourself and amaze yourself with not only how you heal yourself, but what you become. And I know some people are scared of that, but there's an amazing expansiveness just waiting inside of you, and that will take over and transform yourself and expand yourself. And not just physically in achieving your physical goals, but beyond that, as a person and as a spirit and a soul. So it's worth mentioning. Now, it's questionable whether or not I'm qualified to speak on this. I do come from a line of ministers. My family, my father's a minister, his father's a minister. So I don't know if that gives me any qualifications. I've always been raised and always been aware of God, a higher power, and the spirituality of everything. But it's become a lot more potent since getting into natural healing and getting healthy. Now, it is true that getting into a healthy lifestyle as you do this, and especially if you get more into raw, electrical, living foods, it will turn on your spiritual awareness. Now, this is personal experience, but it's also well documented. There's many practices that use consumption, either fasting or consumption of simple raw foods, as a way to facilitate stronger and more powerful connection with the widespread intelligence that's running the universe. And this has been practiced by many religions, meditative groups, enlightenment-seeking groups, even secret societies and occult groups. They all understand this. And again, you don't have to seek out spirituality. It will find you as you become healthier and healthier, and especially if you embrace kind of a lot of these living foods. And this is not difficult to figure out why. If you eat a piece of living food, it hasn't been altered, it hasn't been cooked, its enzymes and probiotics are still alive. The intelligence of that DNA and also the awareness will merge with your own intelligence. You're being fueled not only by the nutrition of the food, not only by the electrochemical charge that's giving you electricity, but by the consciousness of the cells that you're consuming. Now, on the other hand, if you eat cooked processed foods or unhealthy foods, and not only is that not going to give you this increase of awareness, but it's going to block up the system. It's now going to create an acidic sludge, And it's going to require a lot of energy to balance back out that situation and return the body to a more alkaline, free-flowing state. So that's why fasting can be effective as well, is just removing any blockages. Now this can work both ways. I mean, you can get stimulation and consciousness, whether good or bad. So, for example, that's talking about eating living raw foods and the power you get from that. What about eating meat? Eating meat is an example of getting a stimulating energy from food that potentially could be a negative energy. An animal, just before and during being slaughtered, can let off a lot of norepinephrine and a lot of adrenaline into its blood from the experience of the slaughter. And ultimately, this can be absorbed in the meat and experienced on some level by the person consuming it. So, there's a higher level of awareness about what you're putting into your body. Now, fasting is great also for spiritual enlightenment, but fasting is challenging, and so that's why you can sort of achieve the best of both worlds by just, let's say, eating a lot of fruit or raw food, because it sort of gives you the benefits of abstaining from acid-forming foods, keeps your body alkaline, it frees up all this energy because those foods are very easy to digest, and it can activate your spiritual channels to become more receptive, and you're still getting nutrition and energy. So that's the thing. Now this is the real nitty-gritty. This is the nitty-gritty of this whole thing. And maybe you're like me. Before I got into natural healing, I was always interested in enlightenment, how the world worked. I believed in God. I believed in a superconscious power. But I was more interested in worldly pursuits and what I could achieve here in this lifetime on Earth than I was in my own personal spiritual journey. After I went through self-healing and kind of transformed myself and got into a healthy lifestyle, I really started to open up spiritually, and my awareness, I think, just started to expand. And I realized at this time that I had acted in a way that was negative, that impacted other people. I was looking back on my adolescence and my young adulthood, and I was a real troublemaker. I was very rebellious, and I caused a lot of grief for a lot of people. And I really started to sort of take responsibility for that and process that, and I realized I had created some bad karma for myself. And you may become more aware of karma, and you may become sort of obsessed with unwinding karma, because if you think about it, physical ailments, which was my big problem at one time, is a sort of a form of karma. If you're open-minded towards the concept of karma, karma is really just the law of cause and effect, which is sort of a cosmic law. You reap what you sow. And so you may become, just like you now have a physical problem because of cause and effect, now you become obsessed with undoing that physical problem and regenerating yourself. Well, so too might you become obsessed with your spiritual karma. I did. And I started really looking for ways to help people so I could get good karma and store up karma credits in my own personal spiritual bank. And if there's one hack that I can share with you, this is a really good one. And if you're down in the dumps, or if you're in a rut, if you're on a plateau, help somebody. Find a way to help somebody, because, and it's okay to do it selfishly, because you can become a karma hog, and you help somebody, and then you might find that it's helping you to rebalance your own setup and get more into your ideal scene. So you may also become more of a seeker of truth as you get healthier and healthier, and that's okay. You can ask these questions like, what's the nature of reality? And answer these questions. So again, this goes hand in hand, even though most of the focus of rapid regeneration is on the physical transformation physiologically. But the more that you embrace your spiritual identity, it's going to accelerate your health goals in the physical universe. Now, I almost feel crazy saying this, but I have always been curious. I've always wanted to know, how do things work? How does the universe work? How does planet Earth work? And what are these spiritual answers? And what are these secrets of the ages? And you know what? Many of these answers came to me. And, I think that the more you become well and vibrating and energetic, you become more of a spiritual vessel. And if you're in this for the right reasons, then the answers will reveal themselves to you. And I got to the point where, and you'll probably, if you haven't already, will get to this point if you really keep your foot on the gas with your physical transformation, but where you get a really extremely potent instinct and intuition. This is one of those things that you should have, and this is what I would call a decision-making device, because basically if you get to the point where you're cleared out and you can get a clear signal of your own instinct and intuition, and if you actually pay attention to it, in my experience, it's basically correct 100% of the time. And so much of the struggle of life is the choices we're faced with. How do you make decisions? Well, decision making becomes that much easier when basically you have this barometer that's telling you, don't do that. Or, yes, go for it, do it. And if you just pay attention to that and you get a clear signal. Any problems I've had in life basically come when I ignore this. That's the only time I get myself into trouble, is when I ignore that instinct, or if I'm not getting a clear transmission from it for some reason. So now this is very, very powerful. Very, very powerful. And you can get even creative inspirations that come through this wellspring. And you can get answers to problems that you're having. And basically, it's powerful. It's a two-way street. Once you open up yourself as a spiritual vessel, and you put yourself out there as a positive light, things will come back that are answers to questions, solutions to problems, creative inspirations, and just amazing gifts. From an artistic standpoint, creative standpoint, this can be amazing. And this can become a bit of an obsession. I will say, after years, let's see, I've been into natural healing since, 2015. And after years and years of obsessing over that, my obsession has kind of switched over to the spiritual realm. And that's my obsession nowadays, and perhaps for you too, because as you get yourself healthy and well, then what's next after that? And so you're going to naturally gravitate towards your spiritual enlightenment. And by the way, what's your purpose on earth? That's one of the big questions people ask. Well, what if you were just given the answer to that without trying? I talked about this in the water fasting segment and the grape fasting segment. When I was doing these things, when I was focusing on transforming myself physically, I was delivered downloads telling me exactly what I should be doing over approximately the next 5 years. Okay, that was in 2018, and now I'm recording this in 2023. So 5 years later, almost, so many of those things have happened, and I've completed so many of those tasks to do those things. And so life becomes easier when you're given the path, you're shown the path forward. And so turn on that spiritual antenna to receive those transmissions. And it's powerful. And all you need to do that is become healthier, become more vibrant, and it will happen naturally, but you should also be open to it. And it's amazing. So here's some questions that are worth asking as I wrap up here. If you put them out there for the right reasons, and you really get in touch with your own awareness spiritually, you clean yourself out, then these answers should come back to you. And I'll say one more thing, which is the discernment that I got is that the universe is not just random chaos. There is a balance and a structure to the universe, and you are responsible. And this is empowering, but it's also, people are scared of this, and it's tough because you lose your excuse or the ability to blame something else. I know this is very tough because there's a lot of woes and tragedy on this planet. So maybe you've experienced a lot of tragedy and grief, and you think, this is so unfair, that this is happening to me. This is just chaotic, and it's just random, and it's accidental. The discernment I've gotten is that, things do happen for a reason, and that you are responsible. And if you can embrace that, it's very, very empowering. And in fact, if you're going to change and evolve and grow emotionally, spiritually, and everything, the number one step is not to blame anything and to take 100% responsibility for your situation that you're in. And so you can be given the answers to these big questions. And here's some questions, again, that if you put them out there, if you really are curious and you get yourself cleaned out and you become a spiritual antenna, you can receive transmissions that show you the truth and help you discern what's really the truth. So here's some questions. Why are you here on earth? What's your purpose? What do you need to do? Who do you need to cut ties with? What relationships did you get into for the wrong reasons? What people did you get involved with and attached to that are not good for you and not serving you? What do you need to admit to in terms of mistakes, something you've already invested in? Is there something where it's time to just cut it off? How could you serve more to make the world a better place? What is holding you back? Who do you need to forgive, including yourself? Are you taking 100% responsibility for your own life? Are you blaming anyone or anything else for the struggles in your life? Is there anyone that you haven't forgiven? Is the worst case scenario were to happen, could you accept it? And how would you handle it? And if you were to die right now, can you make peace with everything? So now here's some other, those are more personal questions, but there are also bigger questions for those of you curious, which I'm sure you are. How does the universe work? Is the universe a fair place or is it random chaos? What are the laws holding things into place, creating cause and effect? How does karma work? What happens when you die? Is there life after death? What is the point of being here on earth? What negative or dark forces exist, and how do they influence the nature of reality? And is life a test or game? And if so, how do you pass it or win? And these are just, I'm getting chills right now. These are just drops in the bucket. They're just the tip of the iceberg. But I'm telling you, you can be given the secrets of the ages. You can. Because some people think, how can I know all that? Well, if you want to know what is the fabric of the universe, just realize that you are the universe. You are God. I mean, you are divine intelligence. And never let some priest or some Pharisee tell you that you have to go through some organization or some gatekeeper to create this connection and know the essence of this, because you can possess the knowledge to the keys of reality because you are the makeup of that reality already. The intelligence that runs the universe, it also runs through your veins, and it runs the universe of your body and your mind and your spirit. So no piece of knowledge or awareness is beyond your grasp if you continue to gain higher and higher levels of consciousness. And there is a distinction between knowledge and awareness. And knowledge, to me, is not the end game. Although you'll be given knowledge, although knowledge can help you, can help other people. Like I have a desire to gain the knowledge of the keys to unlock health, because I wish to share them with you. And so, yes, I do desire that knowledge. I covet that knowledge. I know that's not altogether a good thing, but because knowledge, you can have knowledge, lust for knowledge, data lust. Information is not the end goal. Awareness would be more aspirational, higher level of awareness. And so, spirituality is a fun and enjoyable. And especially once you get past karma untangled, you help enough people, you do enough good things, you serve enough people, and you can untangle your past karma. Now you get good karma working for you. You get karma credits stored up in your personal spiritual bank, and you really start to strengthen things like the law of attraction. That's very, popularized nowadays. And there's many other cosmic laws. And basically, life becomes much more fun and enjoyable, balanced, freeing, creative once you get just like getting your health in place, once you get your spiritual altitude soaring up there. And so people are scared, I think, of who they really are, and the spiritual giant that might erupt. But don't be scared, and just embrace it, and you can do it. I mean, even if you are scared, just go for it, because it is daunting, but it's part of the deal. And so just know that, this source of true happiness and contentment is out there for you, and it lies in your future. You may be struggling from a physical standpoint, and trust me, I've been there. You may be spiritually in an existential funk. You may be wondering, why are you even here? Why is everything such a struggle? And trust me, I've been there as well. Everything will pass. There is a beautiful reason for everything, and express gratitude for your situation. Gratitude is the amazing secret weapon, key, to have gratitude for the worst things that are happening. And it's been said that if God wants to give you a gift, he wraps it up as a problem. and embrace that and have a good attitude about it. And this is why the emotions are so important, because you need to have good emotions to open yourself up spiritually, and have, positivity and everything. So all of this works together to go to the next thing. This will allow you to transcend your current level of existence, just as you're doing with your health, to detoxify and regenerate the body. So you should have this amazing spiritual growth as well as you plow ahead into amazing, vibrant, electric dreams ahead. And nothing gets me more excited than the prospect of this and of you doing that, and all of us doing that together. And when we do that, it just creates the most powerful, just amazing connection together and force field. And so let's all do it together. I'm here to help you. It is my karmic duty, fulfillment, obligation. I don't know, maybe I did something really, really bad and really wrong, and maybe in a past life. Whatever it is, I'm here to help you. That's a spiritual trip that I'm on. And you should do the same. You should help others. But you have to get yourself powerful and energetic and supple to be able to help others that much more effectively. So have that as your goal and really grow your spirituality, and it will also transform yourself physically. That's the point of Rapid Regeneration. I'm hoping to put together resources that will help you do that at rapidregeneration.com. And if I helped you in some way, let me know, because that makes it all worthwhile for me. Keep it going. You can do it. So do it now. See you on the next segment.
For more information, please follow at Rapid Regeneration or visit rapidregeneration.com.